Welcome to the session on Soviet cinema, Soviet montage. The historical background. A few films were produced during the pre-revolution, namely The Picture of Dorian Gray by Vsevolod Meyerhold, 1915, and Father, Surgeons by Yakov Potrazanov, 1918. Though Tsarist Russia was not positive towards cinema, the communist government had a different view. Vladimir Lenin had once said, "Of all the arts, the cinema is the most important for us." But the initial years, the communist government had to face famine, winter, and the like. So it took about 5 years to become the country stable, and by 1923, the film industry started functioning fully. In 1919, the industry became nationalized. State Institute of Cinematography, VGIK, the oldest, the largest, and one of the best film schools in the world, has been established. The right-wing cinema. There were two creative paths in Russian cinema, the right and the left. The right wing carried on in the old theatrical tradition, replacing the upper class characters with the Red Army soldiers, peasants, etc. Romance, humor, and heroics persisted, boy-girl comic sidekicks, obstacles, and villains to overcome. Example, Kombreg Ivanov, 1923, which is retitled as The Beauty and the Bolshevik in US. Another example is Bed and Sofa, 1927, by Abraham Broom, which tells a romantic triangle, one woman and two men along with housing problem. Even after the rush of left wing, some directors stood behind right wing itself. The Cranes Are Flying, 1957, and Ballad of a Soldier, 1959.
Катерина-то в поле! Да беги же за ней скорее!
Left-wing cinema. Left-wing cinema followed more radical and experimental track of cinema making. Montage lens was primitive, they are flat. The two pioneers were Zhiga Vertov and Lev Kuleshov. In 1919, Vertov founded Kino Eye Group, Kino Glass, who understood the point made by Lenin that the first work of Soviet filmmakers should be with new reels and documentaries. The establishment of Kino Eye Group was essential also because of the drain on resources of film production. The shortage of film stocks continued till the time when finally Russia itself started producing film stocks, and the urgency to educate people to be informed. Life caught unawares was his credo. It was not like candid camera. People filmed knew that they were being filmed. But the thing being filmed were not staged or directed. In 1922, he began to produce Kino Pravda, a series of monthly newsreel that lasted for 23 issues. It is synonymous with the cinema verite, which means film truth. This is a French term during the years of 1967, but cinema verite included sound also. Since Vertov as director had no control over the thing being shot, he depended more on editing, actually two types of control, how to shoot and what be the order. He also understood that by juxtaposing different visuals, one can create a meaning. Example, juxtaposing the visual of Russian tanks crossing a no man's land with the shot of the Soviet tractors breaking ground for cultivation, or formal and elegant Nicholas reviewing his palace guard with a shot of shirt-sleeved Lenin energetically addressing the workers. In both cases, the viewer can find out special meaning from the juxtaposing. One such meaning of the first can be the property brought in by the revolution. Similarly, the second one shows the contrast between the two rulers, how formal and strict and thus unapproachable was are wild how human-friendly Lenin is. Subjects dealt by Kino Pravada were socially inclined, addressing the viewers to work for the prosperity of the country or asking to contribute to help underprivileged people. There were no beauty paradise or animals in the zoo. One subject was Save the Starving Children, as one sees the victims of famine. Sergei Eisenstein was the director who became inspired by Vetrov lines. His famous film, The Man with the Movie Camera, 1029, can be termed as self-reflective cinema. Later, Vetrov experimented with sound also. The film were Enthusiasm, 1931, and Three Songs of Lenin, 1934.